In the modern landscape, we treat our personalities like software riddled with bugs that need patching. This is the alchemist trap, the moment growth shifts from a choice to a compulsive survival mechanism. I had thought about this as I listened to a podcast telling the story of The Red Shoes by Hans Christian Andersen. In his story, a young girl named Karen commits the crime of vanity. She falls in love with red shoes because she perceives them to be lucky. It started with kindness from a neighbor who knew she didn't have any shoes and had made these shoes for her. During the winter, the shoes provided her warmth and also led to the opportunity for her to be adopted by a wealthy woman. Once adopted, she had to discard the worn-out red shoes that she had worn everywhere. The new shoes that she had bought were less bold in colors, such as black. Eventually, she bought a new pair and wore them to church. She was judged as unkept because red is vibrant and represents lust and passion. Despite being told not to wear them back to church, she wears them again, only to be punished by an angel and forced to dance until she turns into bones, and even then, she must still continue to dance. She danced for days until an executioner took pity and used an axe to chop off her feet. She was nursed back to health and given wooden feet and crutches. Despite being forced to dance through thorns and over graves until she is exhausted and bloody, it wasn't enough. When she tried to go to church, those same shoes wouldn't let her pass because she was deemed as unrepentant. Can you imagine being tortured and then maimed only to be told that's not enough? She wasn't bitter, rude, ostentatious, or ungrateful. She wasn't one of those jealous characters trying to harm someone else. She just wore red shoes deemed unbecoming of a good Christian girl. Yet, despite the hauntingly sadistic nature of her punishment, it wasn't enough. Hans Christian Andersen wrote this story entrenched in the Christian faith. We also know Andersen's unrequited love for Edward Cullen is widely cited by historians as the emotional catalyst for The Little Mermaid. When Edward married a woman, Andersen was heartbroken, hence the reason why Ariel didn't get the man and she turned into sea foam. It begs the question, was Karen and her red shoes Andersen's internal shame and what he felt he deserved? Andersen's attempt to purge his nature through these stories only led to more agony, the only mercy being amputation. Let that sink in. Growth is not destruction. The story was about control, obedience, and compliance without nuance or grace. Unfortunately, many of us have been indoctrinated into believing relentless suffering is a badge of honor. In the story, Karen begs the executioner to amputate her feet just to make the dancing stop. No anesthesia, no painkillers, no numbing cream, nothing. She was that desperate to make the dancing stop. This is the psychological cost of treating your spirit as raw material that is never pure enough. We amputate our hobbies, our rest, our true desires because we've been told there are obstacles to our optimized self. We cut off friends and family because they aren't on our frequency. We ignore logic and reason because it goes against the narrative of the stories we created. To add, even after she loses her feet, the church doors remain closed to her. She is deemed unrepentant because the shoes, the memory of her imperfection, still dance at the entrance. The furnace of perfectionism never says enough. It only demands more fuel. This is the message. Keep giving and giving and giving, even after you have no feet. And for what? We must dismantle the toxic pursuit of flawlessness that treats the human spirit like lead to be discarded. True alchemy isn't about escaping your flaws or reaching a pure state where you no longer struggle. The dross, the messy, unoptimized, and non-productive parts of who you are isn't waste. It's the weight that keeps you grounded. When we obsess over artificial brilliance, we lose the very essence of what makes us human. True transformation requires working with our imperfections rather than trying to delete them through sheer willpower. Stop trying to fix yourself. You are not a project to be completed, but a soul to be experienced. The alchemist spent a lifetime trying to manufacture gold, only to realize he had destroyed everything meaningful in the heat of the furnace. Don't do the same to your spirit. Step out of the furnace. Reclaim your right to be unpolished. The gold isn't at the end of the journey waiting for you to become perfect. The gold is the courage to exist as you are right now in all your messy, beautiful, and unoptimized glory.